Well, hey garden friends, it's Destry. Welcome back to my Oregon yard. Today we're going to get started planting up some tulips. So I'm starting here in my Vego elevated garden bed with just some tulips that I picked up at Costco. I'm going to be filling this whole bed with beautiful spring blooming tulips, and I can't wait to see the show. So one of my goals this fall is to plant up a lot of tulips. I'm going to skip the daffodils this year and really focus on the tulip bulbs because then I can cut the flowers and sell them on my flower stand. All right, so I am starting my tulip planting tonight. This one is the Purple Lady Mix. Got 50 tulips. I'm in my Vego raised garden beds. I'll flip the camera around and show you my depth here. I'm going about 6 inches down-ish. I definitely think the level of soil of this bed has, fallen in the summer, so I probably need to dump a couple bags of dirt on top of this, but I'm just going to get them in the ground tonight. Last year I took both bags and sort of dumped them in here because there's two different types in here and then mixed them around. I'm not going to do that this year. I think I'm just going to plant, each bag in its own little separate area to kind of keep them more separate, because I did notice some of them bloom at different times. But yeah, I'm just going to get started on this. One more row here and then I'll kind of show you what my plan is. Now, I wish I had some bulb tone. I don't. I do have some biotone though. I do have some biotone, so I could put that in tonight. It just gave me pause thinking about the fact that I did. And I'm doing my spacing. I mean, I'm trying to fit a lot in here. Because I am doing this, to harvest these and do as cut flowers. So if I was doing it for a garden bed, I might do it differently, but I'm trying to space them out pretty tightly together. So I'll kind of show you that too. I'm going on top of my bulbs here. Here we go. I'm trying to remember exactly how many bulbs I got in these beds last year. I know it was at least a bag of 50. If not more. So I had a few left over. I just did right here from the other Vego garden bed that I have, my elevated bed. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get in here to do my spacing. One thing I did notice last year is I felt like I could have probably put them a little closer together. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. But I'm also just trying to do this in a hurry, kind of, because it's a nice dry day in the afternoon. Get out here and have some time after dinner, before bedtime for the kids. Just kind of get it done. Oops. So another reason I'm not burying these all right away is, I can change it up. I'm going to look at the spacing here in a minute and see if that's going to work for the amount of bulbs I have. But so far it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to cover everybody at the end, and I think I'll sprinkle some biotone in here too, just to recharge the bed. All right, so you want to make sure that you're pointy side up, and then this is the root side of the tulip, so it goes that way in the hole. Okay, so here they are. You can see I'm going to sweep this dirt back this way and then plant the rest of the bed. But here they are. So I guess I did rows of 4. I apologize. They're rows of 4. Again, could probably put them a little tighter, and I still have lots. So, I'll get the rhythm as it goes. I could do a row of 5 here probably. I could also not do rows. I'm just for ease of doing it, but you can definitely tic-tac around as well and do spacing like that. So I might do that with a couple, but I do like to kind of keep them uniform. So, but you can see the soil level of the bed has dropped quite a bit. So I might end up getting a couple bags of soil and just adding back in as we go. So here we go. And I still have a ton of straw flower over here. So again, we have not had a frost yet, so everything is still blooming and growing. Although I think what I'm going to do is be cutting all this back this weekend, harvesting any of the straw flower that's left and just getting it out of here before too much longer, until it gets too wet and soggy and gross. But it is still producing, and it's making some really beautiful fresh straw flowers. I did cut it back. I cut like a lot of the old blooms back, and I noticed it did a nice reflush of blooms here. All right, well, this is the bed that I'm gonna take after today. I'm gonna get all this celosia out of here. This was a pretty one, you guys. It was from Floret. And it was, oh, I'll try to drop the name of it. I can't remember it right this minute, but you can see, I mean, it's just kind of done. I mean, I can't really use these for bouquets anymore. They're too small. I have cut and cut and cut on this, and it shows, basically. So I kind of did the last harvest about a day and a half ago. So I'm ready to be done with it. And then these still have blooms on them. So again, I'm hesitant to pull them because I do really like these, but the flowers have been really, really small. And I think I'm just ready to get tulips going in another bed. So I think I'm just gonna say goodbye to them. I think it's time. And this is the bed over here that I had saved bulbs in those black containers there that are stacked up. I had saved them from last year. So this is my experimental bed where I planted all of the ones from last year. So we'll see what happens. It could be a whole waste of space. So believe me, I've been thinking about like that. I should have just bought new bulbs this year, but I'm gonna try it. This bed is all gonna be tulips, and then I'm debating about this last bed. Again, I have such limited planting space in a way, but I was gonna do maybe some garlic, but mostly, again, I think tulips. So it just depends. This would be the bed I do some garlic in if I'm gonna do garlic this year, I guess is what I'm saying. But you can see these poor zinnias, they're like totally leaned over, but they're, you know, again, they're still blooming. This is gonna be the next patch to go for sure. It's just hard to pull them out when you haven't had like a main frost yet. For me, it is, I should say. I should speak for myself. It's hard for me to pull them out. There hasn't been a frost. They're still technically blooming, but they're just a little bit in the way. You know what I'm saying? We winterized the greenhouse. That's all buttoned up. I've actually been in the greenhouse all morning, and I replaced a rug in there. I was just listening to a YouTube video the other day talking about like owning a greenhouse and like how there's a lot to think about and consider. And it's so true because unfortunately my cat got locked in here, you guys, for several hours. You can see I had to replace the rug. This is just a rug that I had there with the stripes on it. But the cat got locked in here, and so the cat went to the bathroom in here. So it was not great. I have been cleaning it up, and it was my fault because he did get locked in here. So I feel like a bad cat owner, but I've been in here this morning and I put my tidy tray here. I had this outside, so I'm all ready for, you know, potting up and planting. I filled both my bins of soil there, and I've just been trying to make room. I've got some geranium cuttings here and just filling up. My lemon is ready to harvest, so my lemons, I should say. Look at all my lemons. I'm super excited about that. Some of these plants I'm questionable, like this aloe here. I think it might be dead, you guys. I think it's done for. And then some of these, you know, again, I don't know how well these will survive the winter. These were ones I bought this spring. This one's all, you know, gone to seed and gone to flower, so I'm not really sure. I do have a box here of some dried flowers, and as they dry, because I still have them hanging, I'm just flipping them into that box. So this is how the greenhouse is looking. I spent a little time over in this shelf as well. I've got a few plants that I don't know if they'll overwinter or not, but you know, at least things are kind of tidy and organized. I definitely need to do more organization, excuse me, on the top of that bench. I would say I do like the strawberries fall color here in my green stock. It's really pretty, and I even noticed I still have one strawberry there to grab. I'm loving the little lollipop trees on both sides of the greenhouse. I'm loving the way that looks. Those were new to me this year. And I pulled up some stuff for some winter interest here. I've got this little fun evergreen here that I grabbed this summer. My topiary there, rosemary topiary. Oh, that's a lavender topiary, I should say. And then I've got my rosemary, set of rosemaries here. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm airing it out right now because of the accident that we had, unfortunately. But I think it's going to be fine now that I cleaned up and got that rug out of there. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna take after this area next and get all of this stuff pulled out and start to make room for more tulip bulbs. So let's take after it. So I have to say, tearing all of these annuals out is kind of bittersweet, but there is something really therapeutic about it. It's nice to just have a fresh start. And so even though it's kind of hard to say goodbye to these flowers, it's kind of nice to have them all gone. So here I'm moving the drip line aside so that I can start to prepare this bed for planting more tulip bulbs. I have found this little garden rake to be so handy. So I just rake everything out and just kind of get it ready for the next step. All right, well, I got it all pulled out. So I'm going to take a little scissor clipper and go through and just harvest the rest of this and maybe turn it upside down to dry. There's, a little bit left now that I pulled it out of the bed, but again, pieces like this, like I really, you can't really use them in bouquets. They're just too small. But I can probably clip the rest, so I'll do that a different day. Again, I'm trying to do like some bite-sized chunks, and I've been at it a lot today, but I'm glad that I got this pulled out. So now it's all prepped for bulbs. So that can be another like little mini task that I tackle. And I really spent a lot of time on the greenhouse this morning and getting that taken care of. So it's looking a lot cleaner and nicer and more inviting. It's winterized. My pots out front are looking cute. So Midnight, of course, is back in the greenhouse already, so I've got to shoo him out of there. He loves to be in there, and that's how he got caught in there, because he just loves it. It's just his spot. He's pretty sure he likes it in here because there's no dogs, and he can just hang out in here. All right, it's actually the next morning, and it's cold, but I got my auger. Starting to get stripped up here at the top. I need to get a new bit. I've got my bulbs. I'm going to be doing these ones in this bed. This is the Purple Raven Royal 10. So again, there's 2 bags of bulbs in here, different kinds. And then I've got, this one is the Pink Impression Purple Flag. So the whole bed will be pink and purple. I'm hoping to get all of these in this bed. That would be 100 bulbs in this one bed. But we'll see. I'm gonna have to figure out spacing. And I'm just gonna take after it. It's a nice, sunny, cold morning. I want them as close as I can together. So I was worried that this task would hurt my back, but to be honest, it wasn't too bad with this auger. It went pretty fast, and I was able to get a ton of tulips planted. I would highly recommend picking up one of these little augers. It made really quick work of this for me. All right, well, here's what I've got going on for spacing. Milo, you're gonna stay out of this garden bed, right? Look at his mouth. He's guilty as charged with getting in this garden bed. Okay, so here we go, you guys. I have not done a count yet, but I did rows of 6 and 7. 6, 7. Get it? If you get it, you know. If you have kids, you know. Even if you don't have kids. But anyway, so here's my beds of 6 and 7. I'm going to do a quick count to make sure I have enough bulb space here for my 100 bulbs. Even if not, I can always just flip some in a pot. If I have some extra, I'm definitely going to want to be planting up some potted bulbs this year too, so I could keep them. But I think I'm going to have enough holes here. And if not, I'll just, pop an extra in. You know what I'm saying? Like find a spot. Sorry, I'm bumping my camera here. Find a spot and just pop one in and try to, keep these 4. It would be 4 varieties in this bed. So I'm really excited. It was so easy with the auger, you guys. It just zim, done. It was great, as opposed to this bed, which I did with a shovel, and it took a lot longer. Although I did it more of like a trough style, like trenching, because it was those old bulbs that I'm trying out. It'll be a really interesting experiment to see, tulip bulbs from last year here in Zone 8B, tulip bulbs fresh this year. I mean, what's going to happen, right? The ones that are fresh are going to look so much better, but I'm just interested, right? I feel like a little bit of a mad scientist with my fall gardening here, but now I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the ground, but I forgot my back brace, so I have to go run and get it because I want to keep my back healthy. So I'm gonna go get my back brace and then do the rest of the bending over part This part was pretty easy. I was bent over a little bit, but not as I will be to plant the actual bulbs. All right, so I thought I would show you my back brace. It's kind of a thing. So let's see, you wrap it around. It's got like a pad in the back. So you wrap it around like this. And then you grab this side. And this comes around and tightens it. And then this one comes around and tightens it. So it's really been helping to just stabilize my core when I'm working. And, you know, I can bend over, but it has a pad here. And it just really, you know, forces me to not do the squatty bend. You know, I'm bending properly. You guys, I got to take care of my body when I'm in the garden, you know. So anyway, I just thought I'd share with you that it's working for me. So helps me to garden smarter on my body and be able to work longer, and breaking things up into smaller chunks and smaller projects too is really helping. Planting spring bulbs is one of those tasks that doesn't really have a huge payoff right away. Like, these bulbs are going to be hanging out under the frost, under the snow, under the sleet, just waiting for their time to shine. When the weather warms up in the spring and they come up, it's going to be such a glorious show. So I definitely am going to have to be patient, but I know it's going to be an awesome result. So I was really excited that I was able to fit 2 Costco-sized bags into this garden bed, which just goes to show you, you don't need a huge space to make, you know, for a lot of planting. So tell me in the comments, do you plant tulips in your garden? Do you do it in a raised bed or in the landscape? I would love to know. So that's going to do it for my bulb planting for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today in the yard. If you liked the video, could you give it a like and subscribe to the channel? Be sure to stick around because I'm going to be doing a lot more bulb planting in containers coming up really soon, and you don't want to miss some upcoming videos I have about all kinds of different holiday projects I have in mind for the winter season. Thanks again, everybody, and if you need me, I'll be doing some gardening. Milo and I will see you next time. Bye.